6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On second down, Elliott. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here it's third down.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big pickup. And guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They'll try to throw now. Prescott out to his left. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
They go play action here on first down. On the move to his left. It's caught on the left side by Curse. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. It's a keeper with Prescott, and he'll burrow his way forward to pick up the first. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Awesome.
The give is to Elliott, and he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a third down.
On third down, Elliott. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Dancing to his left. Over the middle here to Brown. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and these creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he gets it down to the 32. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Trying to lay one up deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the court.
We got 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go. Get out. 3 down. Go. 6 guard. Check 6 guard. Watch 98. Watch 98. 98 tonight. Rip right.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He hits White, complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. A very solid gain of 27. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Go to 54. Go to 54.
Prescott now. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's Prescott going up top. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
4 down. Double bump.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he rifles one incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And it's 3rd and short. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out. Give the ball. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Open man right side of Smith-Schuster complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but
yeah,
no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Flush to his right. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. Prescott now on 2nd down. On the left side, a catch by White. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's grabbed over the middle by White. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout.
Here we go, 46, 46. Here you go. Here we go, 46. 46.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. Looking for the end zone. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Josh Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? And turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And Hill running right through it. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
They go play action with Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now it's Roethlisberger, escaping the pressure right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. David Irving in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And the pressure gets to him again. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 30. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. On the return, it's Washington. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Again, it's Bell. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Throwing. Prescott. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Bud Dupree coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. And they'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's third and long. Now Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. With it is Brown. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
Just work with me a second here because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. David Irving, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know...
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Javon Hargrave. With a great push up front, he picks up the sack and a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Go, go, go. Get out there, get out there.
They'll give to Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Then we're going to 53.
Now Prescott. He's going to wind up and air it out. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
This is Bell on the dump off. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 25. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here.
Hey, Sweat. Here go 46. 46.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. The Cowboys on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Go, go, go. Get out there, get out there. Here go 46. Gun. 26.
To throw is Prescott. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Go to 54, go to 54. Line. 26.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Elliott. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one.
Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Now Elliott. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Javon Hargrave in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. Buying time to his left. It's caught on the left side by Curse. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Being chased out left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Roethlisberger eluding the pressure right. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on it.
Now Bell hit. He lost the football. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
4 down. Jack 16. Monday. 8.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Roethlisberger now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Steps away to his left. Incomplete. There defensively was Matthias Farley to knock it away.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Cowboys have recovered.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here. and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make this a second down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 3rd down, that's Elliott. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is Elliott. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Elliott. He showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
He'll get it up the middle, and he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. And the Steelers signal for another timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. The Steeler defense proving its mettle here. And now this is 3rd and goal.
Here you go. 26.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Now the point after try for Santos. Santos with the extra point. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. So Charles are able to complete what so often seems